Have you ever faced a time in life when everything seemed to be falling apart and staying positive felt impossible? Have you ever wondered how to find happiness and peace when you're going through tough challenges? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to explore how to stay happy and positive when life hurts the most. Using Buddhist wisdom, we all go through times when life feels overwhelming, whether it's dealing with loss, stress, failure, or uncertainty. During these times, it's easy to feel like happiness is out of reach. But Buddhism offers us powerful tools to transform pain into peace and find joy, even during the most difficult circumstances. The central teaching we'll focus on today is that happiness is not dependent on external conditions, but on how we respond to them. Buddhism teaches us that even in the midst of suffering, we have the ability to cultivate a sense of inner peace and joy. By practicing mindfulness, acceptance, and compassion, we can learn to navigate life's challenges with resilience and positivity. Let me share a story with you to illustrate how this wisdom can be applied in real life. There was someone I will call Ethan. Ethan had always been a positive and energetic person, but recently, he had gone through a series of difficult events. He lost a loved one unexpectedly, faced challenges at work, and struggled with his health. Every day seemed to bring a new challenge, and Ethan found it harder and harder to stay positive. He felt like everything in his life was spiraling out of control. One evening, Ethan met a friend named Annika, who had been through her own struggles but seemed to maintain a calm and positive attitude. Ethan asked her, "Annika, how do you stay so positive even when life is hard? I feel like I'm sinking, and I can't seem to find my way back to happiness." Annika smiled gently and said, "Ethan, I understand how you feel. Life can be tough, and it's natural to feel overwhelmed. But Buddhism teaches us that happiness isn't about everything going perfectly. It's about how we choose to respond to life's challenges. We can't always control what happens to us, but we can control how we face it. By practicing mindfulness, letting go of attachment, and cultivating compassion, we can stay positive no matter what comes our way." Annika then shared some Buddhist wisdom that had helped her through difficult times. Let's explore these teachings together. Lesson 1: Embrace the reality of suffering. In Buddhism, we acknowledge that suffering is an inherent part of life. Pain, loss, disappointment, and hardship are part of the human experience. The key is not to resist or avoid suffering, but to understand it and use it as an opportunity for growth. Ethan learned to embrace the reality of suffering. Instead of fighting against the pain he was feeling, he started to accept it as part of life. This acceptance didn't mean giving up. It meant acknowledging his emotions without judgment and allowing himself to feel them fully. By doing so, he began to feel more at peace with his circumstances. Lesson to understand impermanence. One of the core teachings of Buddhism is impermanence, the idea that everything is constantly changing. Whether we're experiencing joy or suffering, nothing lasts forever. When we understand that emotion, situations, and even pain are temporary, we can approach life with a sense of calm, knowing that everything will change in time. Ethan began to reflect on the impermanent nature of his struggles. He reminded himself that his pain, though real, would not last forever. Just like the seasons change, his difficult emotions would eventually give way to peace. This understanding helped him stay hopeful, even in the darkest times. Lesson 3: Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, without judgment or distraction. When we are facing challenges, our minds often wander to the past or future, causing additional stress. By practicing mindfulness, we can center ourselves in the present moment and find peace despite difficult circumstances. Ethan started practicing mindfulness by focusing on his breath whenever he felt overwhelmed. He would take a few deep breaths and bring his attention back to the present moment. This simple practice helped him calm his mind and break free from the cycle of worry and anxiety. Lesson 4: Let go of attachment to results. In Buddhism, Attachment to outcomes is seen as a major source of suffering. When we are attached to specific outcomes, we set ourselves up for disappointment and frustration. Buddhism teaches us to do our best in any situation, and then let go of our attachment to the result. Ethan realized that he had been attached to the idea of things going perfectly. He had been constantly disappointed when life didn't go as planned. He learned to let go of his attachment to how things should be, unfocused on doing his best in each moment. This shift helped him find peace, even when things didn't turn out as expected. Lesson 5: Cultivate compassion for yourself and others. Compassion is a central practice in Buddhism. It involves being kind and understanding, both toward yourself and others. When we are going through difficult times, it's easy to be hard on ourselves, but compassion helps us soften our hearts and find a sense of peace and connection. Ethan began to practice self-minus compassion by speaking kindly to himself during tough moments. Instead of criticizing himself for feeling sad or anxious, he reminded himself, "It's okay to feel this way. I am doing the best I can." He also extended compassion to others who were struggling, which helped him feel less isolated and more connected to the world around him. Lesson 6: Focus on what you can control. When we feel overwhelmed, we often focus on things we can't control, which increases our stress and anxiety. Buddhism teaches us to focus on what we can control minus the present moment in our response to it. Ethan started to focus on the things he could control, like his attitude and actions. He made small changes in his routine to take care of his physical and mental health, such as going for walks, eating healthier, and practicing meditation. By focusing on what he could control, Ethan regained a sense of agency and peace. Lesson 7: Embrace the power of gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools for cultivating positivity. When we focus on what we are grateful for, we shift our attention away from what is wrong and toward what is right in our lives. Ethan began a daily gratitude practice. Each night, before bed, he wrote down 3 things he was grateful for, no matter how small. This practice helped him reframe his perspective and appreciate the positive aspects of his life, even during difficult times. Lesson 8: Connect with a supportive community. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of community. When we are struggling, having a support system can provide comfort, guidance, and connection. Being part of a group that shares similar values can help us feel less isolated and more supported. Ethan reached out to a Buddhist meditation group in his area. By connecting with others who were practicing mindfulness and compassion, he found a sense of belonging and support. This helped him feel less alone and more empowered to face life challenges. Lesson 9: Let go of resentment and practice forgiveness. Holding on to resentment and anger only weighs us down and keeps us stuck in negativity. Buddhism teaches us to practice forgiveness, not for the sake of others, but for our own peace of mind. Forgiving others and ourselves allows us to release the burden of hurt and move forward with freedom. Ethan realized that some of his suffering was caused by unresolved anger and resentment. He began practicing forgiveness by letting go of past grudges and offering forgiveness to those who had hurt him. This act of letting go helped him feel lighter and more at peace. Lesson 10: Trust the process of life. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes it can be difficult to understand why things happen. Buddhism teaches us to trust the process of life, even when we don't have all the answers. By trusting that life will unfold as it should, we can release the need for control and find peace in the present moment. Ethan learned to trust that life had a purpose, even when things didn't go as planned. He realized that every challenge, whether big or small, was part of his spiritual journey. By trusting in the process, Ethan was able to face each day with greater peace and resilience. Lesson 11: Embrace stillness and silence. In a world full of distractions, silence and stillness can be powerful sources of peace. Buddhism teaches that true clarity and peace come when we create space for quiet reflection and rest. Ethan started setting aside time each day to sit in silence and simply be. Whether it was through meditation, walking in nature, or just sitting quietly. He learned to embrace the stillness and let go of the noise of the world. Lesson 12: live with intention and purpose. Living with intention means making conscious choices about how we live our lives. Buddhism teaches us to live in alignment with our values and purpose, which brings a deep sense of fulfillment and peace. Ethan started setting daily intentions, reminding himself of his values and what he wanted to contribute to the world. By living with purpose, he found more meaning in each day, even when life was difficult. Now, I want to speak directly to you. If you are facing challenges and finding it difficult to stay positive, know that you have the tools within you to transform your experience. By practicing mindfulness, embracing gratitude, and trusting the process of life, you can face life's hardships with greater peace and resilience. I would love to hear from you. What challenges are you currently facing? And which of these Buddhist lessons do you think would help you stay positive? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more Buddhist wisdom on how to navigate life's difficulties. Like this video to share these teachings with others who may need them. And if you want to support the channel, consider becoming a member to help us continue creating valuable content. Until next time, remember, happiness is not something we wait for minus. It is something we create through our actions, thoughts, and mindset. By embracing Buddhist teachings, we can find peace even in the hardest of times.